Most men have experienced this kind of confusion at least once, without fully understanding what was actually happening. You talk to a woman consistently, the conversations feel easy, and something about the connection feels emotionally different from normal interactions. Nothing seems openly romantic on the surface, yet you keep replaying little moments afterward in your head. The way she looked at you briefly, the change in her tone when speaking to you, the emotional energy that somehow felt heavier than ordinary conversation. And this is exactly where many men misunderstand female attraction completely. Women rarely express attraction in direct, obvious ways the way men expect them to. Instead, attraction usually appears through body language, emotional comfort, nervous energy, attention, and subtle subconscious behaviors. Many men miss opportunities simply because nobody ever taught them how female attraction quietly reveals itself, psychologically, long before words are ever spoken openly. One of the strongest body language signs of female attraction is soft, relaxed facial tension during conversation. Most men overlook this completely because it seems too subtle to matter, but psychologically the body reveals emotional comfort much faster than words ever do. When a woman feels emotionally drawn toward a man, her nervous system often relaxes naturally around him. Her lips may stay slightly parted while listening. Her eyes soften. Her facial muscles loosen instead of looking tense or emotionally guarded. None of this is usually planned consciously. Attraction changes body language automatically because emotional comfort lowers psychological defensiveness internally. And honestly, many men expect attraction to always appear dramatic or aggressively flirtatious, so they miss these quieter signals entirely. But female attraction often begins through emotional safety, fascination, and comfort first. A woman whose body visibly relaxes around you is often communicating emotionally that your presence affects her more deeply than she openly says aloud. Another powerful attraction sign appears when a woman starts carefully watching your reactions during conversations. This behavior reveals that your opinion has suddenly become emotionally important to her psychologically. You may notice she tells a joke in a group setting, but before anyone else responds, her eyes quickly check your reaction first. She shares stories and subtly watches whether you laugh, smile, or seem emotionally engaged. Most men completely miss the meaning behind this behavior. Psychologically, women do this when they begin emotionally valuing validation from a specific man they feel attracted to. She wants to know whether you notice her personality, intelligence, humor, and emotional energy beyond simple appearance alone. Attraction for women often grows through emotional attention first. That is why women who genuinely like you become unusually aware of your reactions, without even consciously realizing how much your approval emotionally matters internally. Neck exposure and relaxed posture are also extremely strong subconscious signs of attraction, though many men misunderstand them completely. Most people assume attraction must always look overtly sexual, but psychologically it often appears through emotional openness instead. When a woman feels comfortable and emotionally safe around a man, her body naturally softens. You may notice her tilting her head while listening closely, brushing her hair away from her neck, relaxing her shoulders, or sitting in a more open posture around you. These movements usually happen unconsciously because the nervous system lowers physical defensiveness when emotional comfort increases internally. Attraction for women is heavily connected to emotional safety, trust, and calmness psychologically. That is why many women physically relax around men they genuinely feel drawn toward without realizing it themselves. A woman becoming softer and more physically open around you often signals emotional trust long before verbal attraction appears directly. Slow nodding combined with focused eye contact is another body language sign many men underestimate completely. There is a major psychological difference between polite listening and emotionally invested attention. When a woman feels attracted to you, she often becomes unusually present during conversations. Her eye contact feels calmer, deeper, and more focused. Instead of distracted listening, she follows your words carefully and nods slowly while processing what you say emotionally. Attraction naturally increases attention because emotionally interested people become mentally engaged in understanding someone more deeply. She is not simply hearing your words, she is studying how you think, how you communicate, and how you emotionally carry yourself. Many men mistakenly focus only on obvious flirting while ignoring emotional engagement entirely. But often, a woman giving calm, focused, emotionally attentive listening signals much stronger attraction psychologically than loud teasing or dramatic flirtation ever could in normal social situations. Mirroring is one of the strongest subconscious attraction behaviors women display without even realizing they are doing it. Psychologically, human beings naturally begin syncing body language and emotional rhythms with people they feel emotionally connected to. You may lean forward slightly, and moments later, she does the same. You pick up your drink, and shortly afterward, she mirrors the movement unconsciously. Your speaking pace slows, and her tone gradually starts matching yours naturally. These behaviors are not random coincidences. They reflect nervous system alignment and emotional comfort building internally. Women especially mirror men who make them feel emotionally safe, calm, and connected. Many men completely miss this sign because it feels subtle in real time, but emotionally connected people naturally begin matching each other physically over time. A woman mirroring your posture, tone, and energy is often quietly signaling emotional trust and subconscious attraction long before verbal confirmation ever appears openly. Another important attraction sign appears through body orientation. Most men focus only on facial expressions while completely ignoring the rest of the body. But psychologically, the body often reveals emotional interest faster than words ever do. When a woman feels emotionally engaged with you, her feet, knees, shoulders, and torso naturally stay directed toward you, even in group settings. People subconsciously orient themselves toward what emotionally interests them most. You may notice conversations happening around both of you while her body still remains physically open toward your direction. This behavior usually happens automatically, without conscious planning, because attraction naturally increases physical focus and awareness. Many men miss this sign because they expect attraction to look loud and obvious instead of subtle and behavioral. But a woman consistently positioning her body toward you often signals emotional curiosity, comfort, and subconscious interest long before she verbally communicates attraction directly. Repeated glances from across the room are one of the clearest attraction signals women give without openly saying anything verbally. You may catch her looking toward you briefly before she quickly looks away. Later, it happens again, and many men instantly convince themselves it meant nothing. But psychologically, people repeatedly observe what emotionally captures their attention. Women especially tend to study men they feel attracted to before making interaction more obvious. They quietly observe confidence, body language, emotional presence, and social energy first. Attraction for women usually begins through awareness and observation before direct action happens. Many attractive men miss this sign because they assume women would openly approach if interested. But female attraction often develops much more subtly than that psychologically. A woman repeatedly checking your presence visually is often emotionally curious about you already, even if she never openly admits attraction directly. Nervous energy around you can also be a surprisingly strong sign of attraction, though many men misread it completely. Most people assume attraction always makes women smooth, confident, and perfectly flirtatious, but genuine attraction often creates emotional pressure instead. A woman who truly likes you may suddenly laugh more than normal, stumble slightly over her words, adjust her hair repeatedly, or become unusually self-aware around you. Sometimes she talks faster. Other times she becomes quieter and more careful with her responses. Psychologically, this happens because your opinion suddenly carries emotional weight internally. Attraction naturally increases self-consciousness because she starts caring more about how you perceive her emotionally. Many men mistakenly interpret nervousness as discomfort or disinterest, when often it means the exact opposite. Genuine attraction frequently creates emotional tension, precisely because the interaction suddenly feels emotionally meaningful to her internally. Most women are never going to sit down and openly announce attraction the way many men expect them to. Female attraction usually appears quietly first, through body language, emotional attention, nervous energy, comfort, eye contact, mirroring, and subconscious positioning behaviors. That is why so many men leave interactions later, wondering whether a woman secretly liked them or whether they completely imagined the signs. And honestly, many times the attraction was real the entire time. The problem is not that women never show interest. The problem is that most men were never taught how to recognize attraction when it appears softly instead of dramatically. Once you understand these psychological signs, your entire perspective on dating changes naturally. You stop assuming attraction must always look loud to be genuine. You begin noticing how emotional comfort and subtle attention often reveal female interest long before direct words are ever spoken openly. Do well to subscribe because you are important.